Hello folks, and welcome back to another episode of Cranky Conrods. And today we're going to be looking at this VW Crafter. Now he's admitting it's admitting certain traits of head gasket, but at the end of the day we'll show you guys what it is that we're getting into. So basically, you drive the van normally under 2,000 RPM. The van is absolutely stout, nothing wrong with it in the slightest. Now, the moment you get under boost and start to drive the van, pulling up hills and stuff, it doesn't get hot and it doesn't pressurize, which is the kind of the strange part of this whole doodad. But the second you bring it to a stop, turn it off when hot, the van won't start. There is a tiny bit of pressure in the header tank, but it's not nonetheless. Now, when you do a head gasket test, it is all blue and it's all shows it's okay. You drive the van under pressure, it shows signs of head gasket, but the moment you come to a stop and do 3 minutes of ticking over, the van shows back to blue as no head gasket faults. So we're kind of in that mist of what it is that we're going to be doing, but the customer, has opted to work our way down through the engine to find out what it is exactly we've got. Because I think it's going to be the head gasket's cracked, the head's cracked, something's gone adrift, and it only leaks under boost. So we're going to dive in now and remove the airbox, all the intake tubes and everything, and basically we're going to start getting into this job and see what it reveals. Right, so first things first, the 2 Jubilee clips, one here, one down here, and we're going to, there we go, and the little plastic clip here, so you sort of like just squeeze it, just gently, not too brutally, and that will allow that to pop out and reveal all of this. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to pop, well, that wasn't exactly in there very tight. Well, that's not very good. Ooh, right, that'll be looking at a bit later on. So little clip on the side, push it in, little tab, pull it out, pull the clip out, quick yank on it, and jiggle and jiggle, and out we come. And we're going to be, and it will reveal the top of the engine. Now, we're going to be digging down slowly through this one and hoping to find a smoking gun. But like I say, folks, I think we're already getting into the head job and taking your head off of this thing. We're going to have a look at the water cooler, taking the inlet manifold off, all the injector lines and stuff like that. So might even remove all these brackets up here for the airbox including the little water pump for the heater system, because these vans do have a series of little water pumps around the engine. So just because you have an overheating issue doesn't mean it's your head gasket straight away. It could be one of your circulation water pumps, anything simple like that. So we're going to dive in a bit more and slowly digest into the digress, whatever you want to call it, into this engine, and hopefully we find a smoking gun today. Right folks, so we're bringing you back in now. I've just removed the 10 mils that are up here that holds the bracket for the back of the airbox, and the 2 10 mils off of the little water pump here, just so it gives us all a bit more flippity floppity to get in here and a bit more room. And I ain't gonna like to smack my head on the things, because let's face it, none of us like to bang our heads on the metal bar. So already I'm starting to see like weird traits within the van now. We've got a clip here that hasn't been put back up to here, but it's been replaced with a Jubilee clip. And down here, just here, we've got another Jubilee clip. It's been replaced. and I was seeing something else. So me personally, I'm going to make the assumption, yes, somebody's already been in here, but has this van had a second, or this is its second engine already? I mean, why else would you want to be up here, down in here, replacing these hoses? They're not being replaced. They're the same as everything else. Oh, there we go. Look, down here. There it is. Just down here at the back. There's another Jubilee clip right at the back of the engine. So, you know, like I say, is this its true engine? I think scabbating around to try and find out whether or not it is or not. But anyway, let's get on a bit more and start taking some more apart. Right, so we're having problems now getting the connections out of the glow plugs. There we go. Jeez, that was strong. That was in there. Right, so that one's been saved. If you bring it around here, and have a look at down in here. Look at this one. I got my finger stuck. Look at this one, look. This one has been completely cut, heat shrank, and replaced. So obviously one of the little boots here has broke, and they've just replaced it. Well, it won't come off. So we're going to try that for another 3 more times, and hopefully we'll get all the glow plug wires off. Just going to remove the bleed offs now for the injectors. Now you just want to get a pair of pliers about the same width as the plastic clip on the top of here. Grip it firmly but not squeezing too tight. A little tweak, a little pull, little rubber-dubber-dub. There we go, look. On these, you will break these. See, this one's a bit stiff, so we're just gonna, there we go, little wriggle, little waggle, wiggle and waggle. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 bleed offs off the tops of the injectors now. So yeah, we're going to keep moving on. We've just undone all the injector harness. The 4th glow plug at the back here, the wire to come off of it is being really stubborn. So, you know, I'm hoping that we're not going to be, you know, breaking that wiring. But I'm not pulling on the wire, we're pulling on the actual rubber boot. Anyway, let's just get on in there and have a look. We've finally got the 4th glow plug wire out. And guys and fillets, whatever, that was an absolute bear to get out. Anyway, so we're just going to sling that across to the back there, like so. She's having a wee-wee. Go back up there, you. Don't fancy a mess on the floor. So now what we're going to do now, we're going to get into getting the injectors out now, because that's the most important part. If we can't get the injectors out, there's no point carrying on. So, ooh, don't know what that's for, but anywho. If we can't get the injectors out, then there's no point carrying on. So this is our next tackle with these glow plugs, these injectors. We'll bosh them out, hopefully, cross fingers crossed, and we're going to be cooking with gas. If not, then we're down the rabbit hole of big problems. But nonetheless, we're making progress. We're getting into it. But I'm seeing lots and lots of stuff like this heater pipe. It's all bent. So somebody has had a really good time in here. But yeah, we'll get a bit further in and see what goes on. I have 2 M10s on the fuel rail just here. So you're going to move them. You're just going to crack off these on the rail, on these fuel lines. You're not going to remove them. We're just going to leave it as it is. Just crack them off, take them off the injectors, and oh, that was a bit easy. And just pull it out like so. And that will reveal all the rocker cover bolts, all the injectors. And we're just going to go ahead now with an M8 spline bits, like so. make sure it's firmly seated in there. We're going to zip these out, and hopefully the injectors are just going to come out. I very much doubt it, but you know, this is going to be the hold up if it don't come out. So, you know, wish us luck, and hopefully they'll come out, and we'll catch you up in a bit. Right folks, a bit of rejoice. You know, my rule is, if they twiddle like that, they wriggle, that means they're going to come out. I managed to stop the pry bar under there, being very careful to pry up, because obviously you're on the rocker cover here. So what I've done is, I started here, give that a little pull up, and then I give these a little wiggle, and give them a little tuggle, and I can say, yeah buddy, see, they've all come out. And we have success! Anyway, we'll get you guys caught up a bit more on, oh, well, that's a bit new there. Okie dokie. Anyway, it's been one of them days to start with already. But as you can see, there's a ton of debris around the injectors. We put stuff in there to stop it going in there. But obviously we're going to be removing the head and getting our way down that way. So, you know, injectors out, sigh of relief, and moving on. We're going to take them out like so, because, you know, we don't want to get them muddled up at all, because, you know, the van was running fine before, so we're just going to leave them as is, lay them out 1, 2, 3, 4 with the brackets and everything, and kind of crack on a little bit now. Right folks, so I've been ahead and disconnected all the vacuum lines. I haven't marked them, but I've taken a picture. I've slotted them just up there around by the header tank here. On a bit more inspection, we've noticed that the vacuum line to the turbo actuator is starting to perish and crack, so we're going to be replacing that when we put it back together. We're just in the processes of taking the water to exhaust cooler off. So I've taken the hose off here, just took the clamp off this one and broke the seal, and pushed this one off and just tuck it up at the back there. Now what I'm going to do, because I'm looking at these exhaust bolts down here, the studs, nuts, and they are very, very crispy. So we're going to be leaving them well alone. The manifold isn't blowing. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the intercooler pipe, the exhaust at the back here, the oil return down the bottom of here, and finding the oil feed wherever he may be residing and hiding, and knocking that off, and taking the turbo and the head off as one, because I don't fancy snapping these studs and drilling them out. Maybe when it's on the bench and whatever. But like I say, we don't want to be causing unnecessary work if we can help it here. So, I mean, we are scooting along quite well here, and it's not really fighting us. It's been quite the gem to work on, which is quite rare for a German automobile. But nonetheless, let's keep going and see what we got. Right, folks. So, I've removed the two T30s at the back of here. And I've removed the bolt down here, but I can't get to this little back one at the back of here, so we're going to leave that alone for a second. We're now going to get into removing the inlet manifold, which is these T30s all around the circumference of here. Got that one to remove, that one for the bracket, no, not that one for the bracket, but yeah, down here, basically all the way along now. To be honest, this is looking like a bit of a bear to get into, so I'm hoping that we can split it, or yeah, we'll just see what we can get into. Might have to get to it from underneath, I don't know. But there's one T30 there, two T30s there, and the third one is right down here. But that's all I've really got for you at the minute. But so we're just going to crack on and make a bit more progress and see what we got. Right, so we're getting into the manifold now. And basically, this is what I'm confronted with on this crafter, is that the T30s are so rotted out, they've actually become a T40. And what I've done is I've had to hammer in a T40 piece into the tops of them just to get them to crack off. Because, like as you can see, they're just so rotted out. But yeah, we've got most of them out so far. It's taken me nearly an hour to get these bolts out. So the injectors was the easy part, and it's turned out the inlet manifold is being the absolute, so wrong way round, but hey ho, we'll live with it, and we'll get on with it. But as you can see, I'm making progress still. As you can see, we have put a big dent in it. Now, we've finally got it off the inlet manifold after a period of time. That took me over an hour to get this one little puppy out. And in the end, I got in such a temper with it, I just put a socket over the top and I just kept beating it and beating it and beating it until it, shall we say, went on. Because look at the state of that. There's nothing left of it. It's just completely wallowed out, rotted out. I don't know. It's disgusting, nasty ass things, which is all going to be replaced. But the inlet manifold's been leaking for definite, as you can see by all the oil. Straight off this bat, I'm looking at a brand new oil cooler. So obviously somewhere, let's see if I can get you guys in there. Here we go. See, look, just here, brand new oil cooler and water cooler. And up here, we've had a brand new exhaust gas cooler. So I'm going to say this problem's been a problem for quite a bit of time now. And the evidence that I'm seeing is somebody has been in here and they've had a big problem, because everything, like down here, as I said before, has all got Jubilee clips on, and it's usually the common places for engine swaps. But yeah, we're getting into it. I mean, this is all loose. This is all zip tied up. So I'm hoping to find all the bolts and everything for all that to go back together. But yeah, we're getting into it. We are definitely getting into it. I'm going to start getting rid of some of these pipes and tidying this up so I can actually get in here to do some more work. But I'll get you guys back in a second when we're a bit more into it. But as of yet, right folks, so we're going to kind of call it a wrap today and may come back tomorrow. But we've undone the exhaust manifolds, the downpipe, and the oil the oil return and oil feed to the turbo, which is just two simple Torexes underneath. Bit sketchy to getting them undone. Right. The reason I'm going to have to leave it for today is because I haven't got a long enough Torex, spline drive, multi-troll, whatever you want to call them, to go down into the head bolts. So we're going to give it a wrap today and come back tomorrow and hopefully finish getting this head off, because we are pretty much there. We've got to come back, time all the timing mark, timing up. And get all that sorted. We got a water leak that I've just established that's down here. Looks pretty crispy and rutty and gunky and everything else. But other than that, it's coming along quite well. We're going to have to order all new inlet manifold gaskets and bolts. We're going to have to tap out the drill, the bracket for the bottom of the turbo, because it snapped, even though we've greased it and got it all moving and everything else. We weren't even leaning on it and it snapped. But anywho, we've got a massive jungle of rubbish that was down the back of here. We've taken all that off for now, but we're going to have to tidy it up because somebody has, like I said, already been in here. They've cut all the things. They've not put pipes back on properly. They've not put bolts back in correctly. And it was all wibbling and wobbling and it was all zip tied up and it looked bloody awful. So we're going to try and see what we can do to tidy all this up. And then basically we're just going to find out once we get the head off tomorrow, hopefully. And take it all apart. Well, not take the head apart, but take it off, get the head off and look underneath. Right folks, so we got the cylinder head off of it now, and the weather has taken quite the nasty turn for the worst. It's absolutely just starting to piss down with rain, so we're going to put this away, pack up, wrap up, and run for the hills. So here's where we're at the minute. I mean, we have got some discoloration, and it's not rubbing off down here. Look, it looks like what I call tidal marks on the pistons. It's to be honest, looking at the block and looking at all the rust, to be honest with you guys, I don't think it's looking too good. But anyway, we're going to take the head now to have it looked at by the machine shop, check it for cracks and everything, and basically I think we're going to call it a wrap on this video, because it's getting on for way too long. We'll call it part 1. Part 2 will be out, or part 2 will be the decision of what we're going to be doing with this, because yeah, it's not looking brilliant, especially for these 2 cylinders. These did have water in them, and yeah, it's going to need to be straight edged on the block and go on from there. I mean, comment below, guys, what you think, because I don't know. I think the head gasket has already been changed. The make of it's here. Oh, let's get you guys in here. Where are we? There we are. It looks like an L ring. An L ring, something or another. So, I've got to make a big decision now. Do we literally condemn this engine? Okay, so we're back home in the warm, in the dry, because it is absolutely, where we were was absolutely lashing it by the time we left. So I thought no better than to bring back the cylinder head, put it on our bench, go through it, and see what we got. Now, I kind of got a concern with the cylinder head is that just here, where the face of the piston comes round, there's actually quite a little lip here. Just here is quite the nasty lip, and here, yeah, there's nothing here, nothing here, and nothing here, and nothing here. Well, we're going to strip it down, take it to the machine shop, and let's basically have them have a look at it. But I think the head is junk, quite literally past it. I think by the time we take out these divots in the head, the lips, I think we would have taken too much off the head. But, I'm not a full engineer. I just take stuff apart, rebuild it, and whatever. They do all the machining. They know the thicknesses on the heads. That way, what their tolerances are, etc., and so on and so forth. So what we're just going to do is I'm going to call it a wrap on this video. We're already starting to make the part 2, where we're going to strip this head down and getting it ready to go to the machine shop. I'll show you where I take my stuff to the machine shop, and I'll ask them if it's okay if we can film there, or whether or not, X, Y, and Z. But nonetheless, this is where we're at. This is the cylinder head. It's off the van. The head gasket's here. We brought it back with us. Obviously, I am looking at bits and pieces. This is oil that was between the things. But yeah, I'm quite stumped at the minute. But anyway, nonetheless, let's call that a wrap, and get you guys on into part 2 a bit later on for next week's. And as I was going to say, folks, much love from me, and peace out.